Joe Buck, Tim McCarver is coming right up. Well, the Boston Red Sox started this season 0-6. Here they are right near the top of the AL East. They've had injuries in their rotation. However, the surprise is that they are in second place and trailing the Yankees, who have seemingly, Tim McCarver, put together a patchwork rotation, and yet they are in the top spot in the division.
I think most people thought the Yankees would win this year. I don't think they thought the Yankees would dominate. And the reason they are dominating, they're starting pitching. And speaking of starting pitching, if CC Sabathia, today's starter, could figure out how to beat the Red Sox, he might be the Cy Young Award winner.
He may be anyway, but he's 16-2 against baseball, except 0-3 against the Boston Red Sox. This is meeting number 11 in 2011 between the Yankees and Sox. We are glad you're with us. Sit in front of that TV and enjoy baseball coming your way next on Fox. And look at that, 86 degrees. These days it feels like 52. It's been 186 around the country this summer. And we get ready for baseball here today at Fenway Park. Opening pitch will be brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And now the Yankees starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. Here it is. Gardner leads it off. He's followed by Derek Jeter. And then Curtis Granderson with his 28 home runs. To Shera, Cano, and Swisher in the middle. Eric Chavez, Jorge Posada, the DH, and Francisco Cervelli is doing the catching, batting ninth. And we give you the stats for John Lackey, who's been better after a rough start. And now his sprint pitcher profile for the right-hander, 32 years old.
Yeah, and talking to Terry Francona, the reason that John has been better over his last 5 starts, he stayed away from the middle of the plate, and that's what he has to do. His stuff has been a little crisper, says Terry, and he is trying to recover from that horrible start you were talking about, Joe.
Yeah, for John, who actually beat the Yankees in the home opener on April 8th. Did allow 6 runs over 5 innings. He started out 5-8. An ERA just under 7.5, but over his last 5. Coming off a no decision, but he's 4-0. And we're glad you're with us today on Fox. A strike hits the outside corner, and we're underway. And there are the numbers in graphic form for a guy who has compiled the second worst ERA across Major League Baseball. Second only to Jay Happ of the Astros. That's down and away, a ball and a strike.
Another reason that John has performed better most recently, he had a cortisone shot in that elbow and has responded very, very well from it. Can't make the club in the tub.
And a 1-1 pitch. He is just a little bit high and tight. Brett Gardner has been getting better and better. He is on fire stealing bases. He can hit anywhere in this lineup. He's proving that he can hit left-handers. And his average now is up to 278 as he takes strike 2. And that's a big pitch. A curveball for John Lackey.
Any breaking ball on any count. Hitters talk about pitchers like Lackey and say pitches backwards, meaning that he throws a lot of off-speed pitches behind in the count.
2-2 is lined into left, right at Crawford, 1 out. Well, you know, Carl Crawford is out in left. Who is with him? In center, it's Ellsbury, and right is Micah Vilas, who came over from Kansas City at the deadline. Then Euclid Scudero, Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez, Saltalamacchia behind the plate. As Derek Jeter steps in with 307 career hits against Red Sox pitching. That includes the postseason, and that is the 4th best all-time total against this great franchise, and this one is literally behind him.
How did he get out of the way of that ball? You know his calf's better when you can get out of the way of a pitch thrown behind you. He was on the disabled list with that bad calf. Boy, that is a tough pitch on which not to get hit.
But he skipped his way out of there, and now a 1-0 pitch from Lackey. Down and away, and a swinging strike. Derek Jeter up to 3,028 hits. Number 23 in the all-time career hit list. He just passed Lou Brock. And Rod Carew is next up at 3,053. That's strike 2. When you talk about career hits against the Red Sox, look at the list. He is at 3,028 in his career, and he is number 4 on the all-time list against Boston. We'll give you that list here in a moment. Here comes a 1-2 from Lackey. A strikeout for out number 2. And even after the strikeout, here's the list. Al Kaline, number 1. Nellie Fox, Brooks Robinson, then Jeter. As he is 10 better than Yogi Berra with 2 out, nobody on. Granderson will step to the plate.
Most of John Lackey's fastballs are two-seamers that go into a right-handed batter. That's what that first pitch was that almost hit Jeter. That was a cutter right there, and a good one.
A 94-mile-per-hour pitch as well to get Jeter ball 1 high to Granderson, who's having a phenomenal season. Any way you look at it, production-wise, power-wise, running the bases, playing center, he is on the outside of the conversation, but certainly a part of it when you talk about AL MVP. And it's been good pretty much from the start. Here's a 2-0 on the outside corner, 2-1. And there are the rankings for Curtis across the American League. in some of those big categories, including first in triples. That is high. And the count 3-1. After Granderson, it is Teixeira as the Yankees play without their cleanup hitter and third baseman Alex Rodriguez. Here is a 3-1. Full count.
Alex Rodriguez watching the game from Tampa. He was working out this week. First time back in a while.
Took some ground balls yesterday, and all is feeling good so far as Granderson pops it into left. And a good start for Lackey. And now 16-game winner Sabathia goes to the hill. Bottom of the first at Fenway, no score. Dominant this season, but 0-3 against Boston. Here's the Taco Bell starting lineup. Taco Bell think outside the bun. Ellsbury leads it off, then Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez, Kevin Youkilis, David Ortiz, Mike Aviles, who is the newest Boston Red Sox player. He's in right. Crawford, Salt Talamaki, and then Scudero is at short, batting ninth. There are the numbers for Sabathia, waiting for Ellsbury to get to the plate. And here is the sprint pitcher profile for the Yankee left-hander.
As Chris Rose told you in pregame comments, CC Sabathia, Cy Young candidate, the winningest pitcher in baseball so far this year. He has dominated everybody but the Red Sox, unusually 0-3 against Boston. And that slide step when he works from the stretch, very, very helpful.
Boston Red Sox fell out of first place last night for the first time since June the 6th. Ellsbury, who is having a career year ×2, leads it off and takes the ball. Look at those numbers for this leadoff hitter, especially power. A high strike, and it's 1-1. Ellsbury, Pedroia, Gonzalez for the Red Sox, who were a game out. The next is ripped into right. Swisher back on the track, 1 out. Chris Rose talked about it. Tim talked about it. We'll continue with the theme, and if you ask either Terry Francona or Joe Girardi, they'll say the numbers are a little bit deceiving, although that bottom line with opponents hitting over 300 against him in a Red Sox uniform, that is surprising. Brings in Pedroia, who is 9th in the AL, hitting .310. He takes a strike, and he was the AL Player of the Month for the month of July. Just taking care of left-handers all season, hitting .426 as he takes a ball up and away.
In this game this afternoon, you are seeing 6 players who will probably be in the top 10 voting for the MVP award. The top 3 of the Red Sox, Ellsbury, Pedroia, and Gonzalez.
A little inside for ball 2.
And then for the Yankees, Granderson, Teixeira, and Robinson Cano.
And when these two meet, it's no surprise they are the top 2 teams in run production across baseball. And the individuals are all over the top 10 categories. That's hooked foul. And strike 2.
It's what big league hitters do when they sit on one pitch and get it. Right up around the letters. Pedroia hit it hard, but foul.
He started his day in a bad mood because he lost his cribbage game against Terry Francona in the clubhouse at about 12:30 this afternoon. So he's got a little chip on his shoulder, a little bigger edge than he typically has. But Terry was smiling when we met with him before today's game. Here is a 2-2. Pedroia spoils it.
Well, nobody cuts down on their swing with 2 strikes any better than Dustin Pedroia. That's why if you're the right fielder, you really have to play the hitter and cheat in with 2 strikes. Playing totally different up until 2 strikes. Pedroia, the top 2-strike hitter in the game. Ellsbury second.
And he was fooled on that pitch by Sabathia. 2 out. Could not hold up, and Gonzalez will bat with the bases empty.
The reports the Red Sox have are that, or they include the fact that Sabathia has improved his slider. If he gets on top of it more, it goes down like a curveball. If it's 3/4, it slides. And he uses that one primarily to left-handed batters.
Even with all the talk about the multiple MVP candidates in this game, this guy is still number 1. Adrian Gonzalez.
Right.
Who has done exactly what the Red Sox hoped for when they picked him up from San Diego. Even more. And what he has done here at Fenway Park, hitting .386 in his first year in Boston. Everybody kept talking about that stroke, hitting it the other way, the green monster, the short wall and left. This time he pops it up. And Jeter is fighting the wind. He gives way to Gardner. And obviously it will be an adventure every time a ball goes up here today at Fenway after 1. No base runners, no score. presented by Gillette, is sponsored by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And by AT&T. Rethink possible. And Fox Fantasy Football. It's time to sign up. You can create your fantasy football team right now and play at foxsports.com/fantasy. As we move into the second, John Lackey back to the hill to Shara first up, strike one. From the right-hander who was a Game 7 winner, John Lackey, back in 2002 as a rookie in the World Series for the Angels. When they beat the Giants, that is Gonzalez doing what he does, one out.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, Joe, that baseball is gifted with some of the finest defensive first basemen in the history of the game. You look at Gonzalez, I mean, a guy who can make that play as easily as the guy who hit the ball, Mark Teixeira. Carlos Pena of the Chicago Cubs. Kevin Youkilis is playing third today and would be or could be a Gold Glove first baseman.
Best you ever saw was Hernandez?
Keith Hernandez, yes. One of the big reasons that Keith was the best defensive first baseman I ever saw, he would be used as the cutoff man. I know of no other situation where a first baseman was used as the primary cutoff man on balls hit down the right field line. That's how strong his arm was.
Here's a little clunker and a tester for Gonzalez, and they did it again.
Reprise.
Cano grounds out, 3-1.
Tougher play. Good play by Lackey to stay on the bag. Perfectly led by Gonzalez.
Well, a lot has been made of the Yankees as Nick Swisher stands in. He got the game-winning RBI last night. But a lot has been made of the Yankees in their rotation. It has been this year Sabathia and then a boatload of questions. Really, right now, Bartolo Colon is probably the de facto #2 starter for the Yankees.
Either he or Ivan Nova, but I would have to agree with it. I think Colon has the edge because of experience.
Nova, who was a winner on Thursday, is #2 on this Yankee team in victories with 10. And he has been sensational and has forced the Yankees into thinking about a 6-man rotation. But for the Red Sox, it has been Beckett, who's been a terrific and a bounce back year. Lester, who pitched last night, and then question marks for Boston. They lost Matsuzaka in May. They have lost Clay Buchholz for the rest of the regular season with a stress fracture in his back. They made a deal to get Bedard, and then there's the man today, John Lackey, who has a chance to step up and continue this nice little run he's been on since coming back from that cortisone injection in his pitching elbow. He's run the count to 3-0, and now 3-1. Two out, nobody on. And Swisher takes a walk. So the first base runner of the day is compliments of a free pass, and it brings in Eric Chavez, who spent the majority of the season on the DL, but he is right. For getting off to a good start, he is a valuable piece of this Yankee team after putting up big numbers early in his career with the A's.
1,307 games with Oakland in his career.
And a lot of production as he takes inside, ball one. Between 2000 and 2006, Eric Chavez averaged 28 home runs and 94 RBIs a season.
That's in a ballpark that's very tough to hit home runs, the Oakland Coliseum.
Problem is, the last 4 years, 4.5 years, it's been a fight to stay healthy. Another visit from Saltalamacchia. He is back behind the plate. And a 1-0. A little high, 2-0. The Yankees have won 8 straight, 11 of 13. The 8 straight is their longest winning streak of the season. Could not hold up in the count, 2-1.
That's that pitching backwards that we talked about earlier. John Lackey throwing a breaking ball on a 2-ball and no strike count, and Chavez bit.
Got under it, and an easy fly ball into right for Aviles. And Adrian Gonzalez, who is tearing the cover off the ball, also flashes great leather at first. 2 plays in this second inning, and after 1.5 at Fenway, no score. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Sitting in the booth with my bud Tim.
All right.
And here is Kevin Youkilis leading it off for Boston. No score. Sabathia had a perfect first with a strikeout, and he misses up and away, ball 1.
History of these two teams, anything but buds.
Yeah, and Youkilis is a guy who tends to be in the middle of a lot of the action. Right on top of the plate, gets hit a lot. One of the tougher guys you will find in Major League Baseball, and one of the oddest stances in the history of the game as he takes a strike. It will be Youkilis, Ortiz, and Aviles. Here's a 1-1. High again, 2-1. Sabathia, who came up with Cleveland in 01, traded to Milwaukee in 08. He's been with the Yankees since 09, and was the key reason out of the rotation on the mound the Yankees won it all, beating Philly in 2009. 3-1 that postseason after a 19-win year, and he won 21 last year.
First time in his career that he won 20 games.
And now his 2-2. Fouled away. Euclid is number 4 in the AL with his 76 RBIs. And he is a .351 hitter here at Fenway Park. Here's a 2-2. Pulled the string and gets strikeout number 2. Out number 1, and here is Chris Rose with a DirecTV game break.
Joe, Hunter Pence continues to pay dividends for the Philadelphia Phillies. They haven't lost. They're 7-0 with him, and he's hitting .387. Drives in his 8th run, and J-Roll comes around. It is 2-0 Phillies off of Matt Cain. Remember, to see every baseball game the most in HD, it's 1-800-DIRECTV. Guys, we'll keep our eyes on the chippiness from last night as well.
Yeah, last night got ugly. Shane Victorino right in the middle of a brawl out in San Francisco. And in what is a rematch of last year's NLCS. Phillies won last night and they lead today. Here is David Ortiz, and there's ball 1 low. David Ortiz went deep last night. And a good at bat against Bartolo Colon, who went 4 2/3, but the Yankee bullpen was outstanding. Down and away. 1-1.
That's that breaking ball that we were talking about earlier. When he drops down, it slides away from the left-handed batter. He uses that pitch, and then he'll get on top of the breaking ball, and the breaking ball goes down more to right-handed batters.
That's strike 2. And Ortiz right over the top of it, missed it by plenty. A guy who has hit .316 against left-handed pitching this season with 6 home runs. 6 of his 21. Straightens him up 2-2.
Think about the last 3 pitches. Breaking ball to Ortiz, cutter away, fastball inside. Sabathia with so many weapons.
Sabathia can't make the play, but Jeter can. 2 out. If you didn't see our pregame, and if you didn't see the highlights of last night's fight, here you go. Shane Victorino went deep. Shane Victorino eventually had to visit the mound. And when these two teams were separated, it continued. And watch Victorino go around the coach and try and get at the right-hander.
Ramon Ramirez. Yeah.
Ramirez was the one on the mound after the home run against Sanchez earlier in the game. And here is Aviles, who has been a pickup that the Red Sox are excited about. They got him from Kansas City, and he can play literally anywhere.
Joe, most baseball fights, as we know through our experience, benign, but last night's did not look benign at AT&T Park in San Francisco.
Fly ball into right, pretty well hit, and Swisher grabs it. We are through 2 at Fenway Park. Yankees coming out with Posada, Cervelli, Gardner, no score. presented by Gillette Fusion Pro Glide. As we continue here at Fenway Park, we move to the third no score, with Posada, Cervelli, and Gardner against John Lackey. Ball one outside. Kenny Rosenthal is with us, star of FoxSports.com. There is plenty to talk to Kenny about with regard to these two teams, and in particular, the man on the mound, John Lackey, as a breaking ball is in for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Posada against right-handed pitching, hitting .268. Against lefties, only .103 as he holds off ball 2. Now the 2-1, 2-2. 3-game set with a night game tomorrow night. Garcia and Beckett. Beckett has been terrific this season, and the same can be said considering the expectations for Freddie Garcia. A 10-game winner.
I mean, think about it. The New York Yankees have the second lowest earned run average in the American League to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Nobody expected that.
And you think about it, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, the Yankees wish list, their Christmas wish list was to get Andy Pettitte back somehow, to sign Cliff Lee, lefties, to deal with his really good hitting left-handed heavy lineup of the Red Sox. They didn't get either. They signed Colon. They signed Garcia. Hughes is injured early. And they have the second best starting pitching ERA in the American League.
It's more than a feather in the cap of manager Joe Girardi and his first lieutenant Larry Rothschild. They have done a terrific job with this pitching staff.
It's like 2 feathers.
Yeah, that's right.
In their caps.
That's right.
A total of 4, 2 in each. Here is another 2-2 pitch to Posada. See if Youkilis can get there. He can. 1 out. Good start for John Lackey and Ken Rosenthal. This has been a long, rough season on and off the mound for John Lackey.
Yes, it has, Joe. John Lackey revealed in spring training that his wife Krista is suffering from breast cancer. And then in May, he seemed to indicate that she had a setback, saying, "Everything in my life stinks right now." Well, Lackey told me yesterday that Krista recently finished another round of chemotherapy and that she is doing quite well. She had undergone chemo in the off-season, and she and John thought that would take care of it. But right around opening day, they learned that she would need the additional treatment. Guys, needless to say, it was an emotional blow to both.
Yeah, and for a guy who last year in his first year of a big deal went 14-11, but an ERA of 4.4, and then the way this season started, 5-8. ERA of basically 7.5, and now he has rebounded. Good for him. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, life intervenes, does it not?
Won 4 straight decisions until a no decision on Monday against the Indians. And Cleveland and Boston split a 4-game set. Inside, 2-1 on Cervelli. Everything came to a head for Lackey on the 4th of July. A start here against Toronto. Couldn't get through 3 innings, was booed as he gives up his first hit of the day. It belongs to Cervelli, the number 9 man, a 1-out single into right center.
When you go the other way on a ball that is going away from you, you're following the ball with the barrel of the bat. That's the advantage of hitting the ball the other way. That was a cutter away, and fine hitting by Cervelli to hit it to right center.
Brings in Gardner, who flied out to left his first time, with Derek Jeter to follow. Mentioned the Yankees started this season 1-8 against Boston. They came into this series red hot, having won 7 straight, but trying to prove to themselves and to Boston that they could beat this very good Red Sox club, and they did last night 3-2 behind great work out of their bullpen, 4 1/3 shutout innings. Strike one on Gardner. And now ball one.
Gardner contact hitters. Cervelli a very good base runner. He has 4 stolen bases, has not been caught. You may see Cervelli in action here. Girardi loves the hit and run with the bottom of the order.
Time called by Gardner as Lackey was taking too long. A 1-out hit by Cervelli. And a ball high to Gardner.
Slide step from Lackey. A better pitch and a better count on which to hit and run.
Gardner in the leadoff spot against the right-hander with Jeter batting second. Team playing without Alex Rodriguez in 18-7 since Rodriguez went down with knee surgery, and a dangerous foul ball into the seats for strike 2. Gardner hitting .212 through the first 30 games, but he has hit just under 300 since. Waiting for a 2-2 pitch. Full count. Scoreboard is frozen at 1 ball, 1 strike. So Gardner checked with the home plate umpire, Mark Carlson, confirmed it is a 3-2 count.
Cervelli certainly running here.
There he goes. Foul ball left side. Another one for Euclid. 2 out. And the batter will be Derek Jeter. The Yankees trying to stretch out Lackey, like the Boston Red Sox are so good at doing against anybody they face. That's why when these two teams meet, you can pretty much guarantee you are in for a 3-hour game. At least.
Last night, an example, a 3-2 game that took 3 hours and 24 minutes.
Jeter takes low, ball 1. Since coming off the DL on the 4th of July, Derek is hitting .321. He's popped 2 home runs, has 6 extra base hits, 18 RBIs after driving in 20 over the first 62 games.
Derek saying something I didn't think I'd ever hear him say when he was forced out of action during the season, that he was rejuvenated.
He didn't like it.
No.
Going on the DL with a calf. But the numbers prove that that bit of rest did him a lot of good. Ken Rosenthal, you have more on that.
Term Kevin Long uses is recharging batteries, and he says that Jeter definitely looks like a different hitter right now. His timing is better, strike zone discipline better, and his at-bats against right-handed pitchers also much improved.
He waits for a 1-1 pitch. Leans back from ball 2. Plenty more to talk to Ken about, including what's going on at AAA for New York. Possible reinforcements in their bullpen and as a DH. With a couple of the pieces that Brian Cashman held on to at the trading deadline when they did not make a deal. 2-2.
First time since 1999. The Yankees did not make a deal at the trading deadline.
They were in a lot of talks, but never did pull the trigger because the asking price with regard to their prospects was too steep. The Yankees could see a couple of those prospects down the stretch. Still 2-2. Jeter was hitting .260 when he went on the DL. He's now up to .276. For a while was at .280. Had another 5-hit game during the week. During that 4-game sweep at the White Sox, and a strikeout ends the inning. Made Jeter look bad. Lackey did. Strikeout number 2. Both times he is taking care of the Yankee captain after 2.5. No score. In the mid-'80s, little breeze here at this park that was built in 1912, and part of the construction was a big wall out in left, and hitting that wall on the first pitch is Crawford with a leadoff double.
First hit, first base runner. We talked about how Cervelli went to right center on that cutter from Lackey. That's what Carl Crawford does on that cutter from Sabathia. Looked like he went up there, thought about one pitch, and hit it perfectly to left center field.
And for Crawford, a guy who was hitting .270 in his career against left-handed pitching, was struggling at 136. He gets Sabathia for the Red Sox first hit, and now Saltalamacchia will try and produce a run with Scutaro on deck. What a turnaround it has been within this year for Saltalamacchia. got off to a rough start. People across the league wondered if he could handle the everyday job with his throwing and mechanics behind home plate. Well, he has been one of the more productive catchers, along with that guy, Jason Varitek, here in 2011. That's outside. And the count 2-0.
17 home runs between the two, and defensively, Saltalamacchia has shortened things up. You know, he's 6'4". It's a very difficult position to play if you're that tall because of giving low targets. Gary Tuck, the bullpen coach, was telling me yesterday
2-1
that he plays the position shorter. I said, I don't think I've ever heard that. He said, well, his footwork is like that of a much shorter man. And that's one of the things that you have to lick when you're that tall, is shorten things up so you don't stride too far and have throws sail or tail into the runner when you're trying to throw him out at second base. He's done very, very well, though, improving in every department.
A lot of hard work as he waits for a 2-1 and now takes ball 3. A leadoff double, 3-1 on Saltalamacchia with Scutaro next. A walk puts 2 on. And with nobody out, Scutaro walks in. Budweiser is searching for the best crew of friends in America. Find out how to play and register your crew at bandofbuds.com.
Yankees infield looking for a bunt in this situation, and I don't blame them. I think Scutaro will try to move the runners along.
For Yankee pitchers, that was just their second walk over the last 50+ innings. The bunt to Sabathia. Play is at first, 1 out. And the runners advance to second and third.
It's rare that you would play for 1 or 2 runs in this ballpark, particularly with explosive offenses like the Red Sox certainly have, and the Yankees. But the way the game's going, I think Terry Francona made the right move, getting the runners moved up 90 feet.
It sets it up for Jacoby Ellsbury, who flied out to right. His first time up, hit it pretty well. A guy who has had a big week. 2 walk-off hits, including his first ever walk-off home run. And the 2 wins against the Indians. So here we go. Sabathia against Ellsbury. Second and third, 1 out. Ball 1. Across Major League Baseball, with runners at third and less than 2 out, teams score the run just 56% of the time.
It's shockingly low, isn't it?
It is. The Yankees are best at it at 63%. Infield is in at the corners as Ellsbury can't hold up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
2 sliders out of the strike zone, and Jacoby bit at that second one.
If Sabathia gets out of this, he's going to have to get 2 of the hottest hitters in the game. Ellsbury now and Pedroia on deck. Two and 1. Two and 2. Sabathia struck out 2. He got Pedroia in the first, Youkilis in the second. That's foul. When you talk about hot hitters, look at what these two have done at the top since the 1st of July. Combined hitting .383 with 38 extra base hits. You think about what a rebound it's been for Ellsbury, who missed all but 18 games last year and was questioned. His dedication, how tough he was, the broken ribs. That is ancient history now. A rare combination of power and speed. He waits and lines one into right. Crawford will tag. Swisher's throw is cut off. It's 1-0 Boston on a sac fly by Ellsbury to right.
Speed of the runner on third dictated whether he was going to try to score. As we look at the sequence, Ellsbury misses on the first pitch. It's 1-1 after another slider. The fastball missed down. Then the breaking ball for a strike, and with the count 2-2, he fouls one off. And then feistily fights one off deep enough to score Crawford for the first run of the ball game.
Feistily fighting at Fenway. That's what he just did to make it 1-0 Boston. Bringing in Pedroia, runner at third, 2 out, strike 1.
I don't know a better word for that at bat we just saw from Jacoby Ellsbury.
And he was described as anything but feisty last year.
That's true.
But it has all clicked here in 2011. That is a rocket. 2-0 Boston on an RBI double by Pedroia.
I think Robinson Cano is arguing that he kept the tag on him, and in Pedroia switching hands from the right hand to the left hand, and he had to come off the bag. One more shot. Head first slide. Now switching right there. But I think Robinson went for the right hand and came up empty. And Pedroia shifted the left hand on the bag. I didn't think he had him. Oh. No, I don't think so.
I agree with you. I think the right call was made by Jeff Kellogg out at second base.
Pedroia very proud of his handiwork. See, he was off the bag with that right hand, but Cano didn't tag him, and that gave Pedroia time to get back in there with the left hand.
It's 2-0 Red Sox. It brings in Gonzalez. Strike 1. So Sabathia, who has lost 3 times to the Red Sox, all 3 times to Beckett, is trailing 2-0 here in the third. Strike 2. At any point, does the glove hit the hand of Pedroia? It didn't look like it, and he's at second with 2 out. After collecting RBI number 58. Still 0-2. Adrian Gonzalez homered against Sabathia at Yankee Stadium on May 14th. Takes a ball in the dirt. He is the first Boston Red Sox player since Ted Williams in '46. Be hitting .350 or more with 90 or more RBIs through the end of July. He may very well share another distinction with Ted Williams from that '46 season when Ted was MVP. As he grounds to Teixeira. And the inning is over. The question was, could Sabathia get through the hot hitters of the Red Sox? The answer, no. 2-0 Boston after 3. Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. And by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Glad you're with us from Fenway today on Fox. Middle innings now, and Granderson first up. Strike one, 2-0. Red Sox on top. Curtis flied out to the left, his first time. Now in the hole 0-2. We had a chance to visit with Terry Francona, who is in his 8th year as manager with the Red Sox. He's won it all twice in '07 and then that thrilling 2004. Play that for you after Granderson. Takes the ball. 1-2. Hard hit, base hit into right. Leadoff man is on. First question for Francona was if he was pleased. He had to be with the pitching so far of John Lackey.
Yeah, he's, his location, his fastball's good, but his changeup and his breaking ball, I think that's what's been really good since he's come back. His fastball's always been kind of consistent, but he's using his changeup a lot more effectively.
And Terry, you said he had to stay out of the middle of the plate, and he appears to be doing that so far.
Yeah, so far, and that's a big word because they got a dangerous lineup, but he is. He's really pitching, and he's, the breaking ball is in and out. He can flip it for a strike when behind in the count. So far, so good. It's fun to watch.
How proud are you of Jacoby Ellsbury? In 2010 seems like ancient history right now for your center fielder.
Yeah, it sure does. He felt like he had a lot to prove, and he's sure doing it. He's turned into, I know Theo gets tired of me saying it, but he's turned into one of the top guys in the league. And I think Theo's going to take some of that, or Jacoby's going to take some of that to arbitration.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I probably got to shut up.
Yeah, he's going to. It'll be Exhibit A. Hey, last thing about Pedroia. He was ticked off when he walked out of your office earlier today because you beat him in cribbage. So
yeah, I spanked him pretty good.
He carries a little more edge with him here today.
You know I had to put you guys on hold, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I did see him. You were
love
beaming.
beating him. He's not very good.
You were beaming. Thanks, Terry.
Okay, guys.
Terry Francona, who has handled himself so well here with the Boston Red Sox. Managed in Philly from 97 through 2000. But I don't know anybody who's done a better job over the last 8 seasons than Terry has done here with Boston. He's got a great sense of humor, which I'm sure he's had to rely on more than we're even aware.
Right.
The count is 1-2 on Teixeira, who is number 2 in the AL with 31 home runs, number 2 to Bautista of Toronto. 2-2. Teixeira has done very little against Boston this year. 4 out of 37. No home runs, 12 strikeouts. And waits for a 2-2. Still 2-2. Granderson with a base hit into right. Robinson Cano is the hitter on deck, then Swisher. Another 2-2 runner goes. Throw by Saltalamacchia, no good, into center, and Granderson will end up at third. That'll be a stolen base and the second error of the season on Saltalamacchia.
A tough pitch to handle for Saltalamacchia. I mean, Granderson had just too big a jump. It's going to be a throwing error on Saltalamacchia. No way to get Granderson anyway.
See if Teixeira can produce the run. Nobody out in the inning. That is hammered foul. Teixeira's done a lot of work with Kevin Long, the hitting coach of the Yankees, trying to get that front foot down earlier to be in a better position to hit. And the numbers have been good since the middle part of July. Just got a piece.
You compare some of the hitting styles today with the hitting styles of decades ago. A guy like Joe DiMaggio, who had no stride whatsoever. He not only didn't pick his left foot up, he would hit without striding into the ball. Willie Mays, similar.
Another foul ball.
Tell you the truth, Joe, I don't remember when the first high leg kick came into being. Probably the middle 80s or so. But it is a method of hitting that's employed by quite a few hitters today. But you're right, that foot's got to be down quickly in order for you to be able to use your power.
Another foul ball. So pretty good at bat and a good battle here. 10 pitch at bat between Teixeira and Lackey. Runner at third is Granderson, led off with a hit, stole second, went to third on the error. There are the numbers the last 15 games for Teixeira. A walk puts runners at the corners, and Saltalamacchia a nice job blocking its second walk handed out by Lackey. That will bring in Robinson Cano, who bounced out to first back in the second, his first time up. And a guy who has been a .360 career hitter here at Fenway. He has picked it up, as has Swisher, as has Teixeira. Granderson has maintained, all in the absence of Alex Rodriguez. The Yankee team, as I mentioned, 18-7 since A-Rod went on the DL. Strike one. Rodriguez has been out since the 8th of July and had right knee surgery on the Monday before the All-Star game, July 11th. To repair a torn meniscus, they said 4 to 6 weeks. We're now at the end of the 4th week. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cano, number 8 in the AL with 75 RBIs. 18 home runs and an average just under 300. Up on the count now, 2-1.
Falling behind with fastballs, and if Lackey is true to form, he'll throw a breaking ball here in a fastball count.
Kurt Young now the pitching coach for Terry Francona. John Farrell is managing in Toronto. Two and two. Interesting note that Joe Girardi gave us before this game was that with regard to his rotation, Phil Hughes will be available in the Yankee bullpen tomorrow night. It'll be his 5th day, and that's the luxury of having one extra starting pitcher. Cano checks his swing. He did not go. The count now full, 3-2.
Robinson Cano can wait so long before he unleashes that powerful swing, and because of that he's able to hold up a lot better than most hitters are. Tremendous bat control. He can wait until the ball is deeper in the strike zone before he unleashes those lightning quick hands.
And there are the numbers now. Cano has picked it up. Has him knocking on the door of a 300 average for the year. Waits for a 3-2. And like Teixeira did before him, Cano is in a battle with Lackey. Boston Red Sox, while they have their question marks in their rotation, Lackey has been one, although as we mentioned, better of late. Their bullpen is really, really good, especially at the back end with Bard and Papelbon.
Papelbon with 19 straight saves.
Wheeler's been good. Aceves, Albers, Franklin Morales. That hits Cano on the foot to load him up. And after talking with Terry Francona about how good Lackey has looked, Lackey has sprung a leak here in the 4th.
Now Terry saying the key words were so far, and that was so far before he got into this inning. A base hit was his right foot, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It might have caught him a little bit higher. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. But the base hit by Granderson, then the stolen base, the overthrow of second, and then a walk and a hit batsman. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Aerial coverage is provided by DirecTV. We're down below. I interrupt Tim in the middle of a point. NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Here is Swisher. There are his numbers with the bases loaded. 4 grand slams for a guy who has been red hot. Strike one. Since the beginning of last year for Nick, 36 of the 43 home runs he has hit have come from this side of the plate. Last night, the game-winning RBI batting right-handed. The 0-1. Ball one.
Yeah, Nick hits for much more power from the left side, but more consistency in making contact from the right side.
Red Sox lead it 2-0. Yankees have bases loaded and nobody out here in the fourth. Lackey falls behind again. This crowd at Fenway is starting to get restless. Here is a 2-1. Not hard hit. Run scores on a double play. It's 2-1. And Lackey got exactly what he wanted. A 4-6-3 double play in what is now a 1-run game.
Pedroia picture perfect at second base in making the turn, and turned easily when Scutaro comes across the bag, and they have Swisher by several strides.
And there was another breaking ball with Lackey behind on the count, 2-1. Swisher got it down toward the end of the bat. Now it's up to Chavez with a runner at third, 2 out, ball one. Merrick flied out to right his first time up. Hit the ball to the track. Now Teixeira is the runner at third. One ball, one strike.
Good cut fastball from Lackey.
87 miles per hour. Lackey 9-8 on the year. Catches the outside corner, 1-2. Lackey trying to get around a bases loaded, nobody out situation, giving up only one. In the air to left, Crawford cannot get it. And Chavez has tied this game at 2 on an RBI single to left.
Well, John Lackey ahead in the count, wanted to make Chavez reach for the pitch, and he did. Guess you could say his reach exceeded his grasp right here. Off the plate away, one hands it over the head of Carl Crawford to tie this ball game up.
And the reaction from Lackey, who has let a 2-run lead disappear. The inning continues for Jorge Posada. Posada takes a strike. We mentioned that Jorge is hitting only 103 against left-handed pitching. Ken Rosenthal is with us. How realistic is it, Kenny, that the Yankees could call up Jesus Montero, their catching prospect from AAA?
Very realistic, Joe. He is hot with the bat right now. He is in tremendous shape. And he, too, like Saltalamacchia, has been a target of scouts, a target of criticism. But he's coming around now, and you've got to remember, he's still only 21 years old.
They had a good year last year at AAA as a 20-year-old. He started out slowly and now rounding back into shape. Lackey blows a fastball by the bat of Posada, strike 2. Montero's not alone. It seems like Manny Banuelos, a left-hander, hard throwing, also very young, could come up and add to this bullpen with the Yankees before the end of the year. That's high, 2-2. Banuelos is 20, Mexican-born left-hander. The Yankees bring him up. They'll hope to get what they got out of Jabba Chamberlain back in 07. And they called him up and he was almost unhittable as a 21-year-old. This will be the 35th pitch of the inning from Lackey. Down and in. And a full count will allow the runner at first, Chavez, to take off. Runner will go as Posada flies one into left for Crawford on the track, ends the inning. A long inning and 2 runs put up by New York. After 3.5 in Fenway, tied 2-2. It is the heart of the order for the Red Sox now in a 2-2 game. That is ripped off the bat of Youkilis and off the monster in left center. One pitch and a double for the Red Sox cleanup hitter.
A monster at Fenway, off the monster at Fenway. Joe mentioned earlier that Kevin Youkilis came into this game batting .351 in this ballpark, and he continues that onslaught.
And I think he just feeds off the good feeling he gets out of these fans here at Fenway who have grown to love that guy, who has proven that he doesn't care where they play him, where they hit him. in a lineup he just produces. Plays hurt. Go ahead run at second with nobody out for David Ortiz. Strike one. We had a chance to visit with Joe Girardi during the break. We'll play that for you after Ortiz does something if we get the chance. Joe in his 4th year as manager of the Yankees. Strike two. David Ortiz is a free agent at the end of the year. And after having an injury-plagued season a couple of years ago and a disappointing year back in 09, he had a good season last year, and he's backed it up here in 2011. But on 3 pitches, he strikes out 1 away. 3rd strikeout for Sabathia. First question to Joe is about what he's seeing from his big left-hander today.
He didn't let that inning get away from him. You know, we gave up a couple runs, and we're okay with that. And our guys responded really well, getting 2 in the top of the 4th, and let's get him on a roll now.
Joe, you were talking to us before the game about how you're so proud of this team for having everybody step up.
Yeah, I mean, we've had so many guys step up. Our bullpen, I mean, it really got hurt early. We lost Soriano, Feliciano, Chamberlain. And guys like Corey Wade and Ayala, Boone Logan really stepped up, and Nunez has stepped up when Jeet was on the DL, and he's also done it with Alex on the DL. So our guys have really stepped up and done a good job in the absence of some key players.
And tell us about the availability of Phil Hughes in your bullpen tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, if we need him, we will use him. It is his start day, and we figured that, you know, by keeping Nova around here, we had an extra starter, and if we needed to use him in the bullpen, we'll use him tomorrow.
And they say you can never have too much pitching. Do you agree?
No, I agree, especially, you know, when you're playing in these type of games where batters put long and bats on the pitchers.
Joe, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Sabathia has buttoned it down since that leadoff double. Struck out Ortiz and now has an 0-2 count on Aviles. Starting in right field today for the Red Sox. Flips this one into right. Swisher coming to grab it on a bounce. And Euclid did not break immediately. He can only get to third on a hit to right.
I was a little surprised at that. I thought Kevin Euclid should have read that ball a little bit better than he did. In the last inning, we talked about Eric Chavez in that reach and hitting it over the head of Carl Crawford. I think Euclid caught in between. The first thing you do if you're on second base, check the outfielders. And I think when you check the depth of Nick Swisher, you figure out you've got a pretty good chance to score. That was not good base running by a good base runner.
Leaves it up to a guy who is tough to double. Carl Crawford, who doubled his first time up, scored a run last inning. First and third, 1 out. Breaking ball has Crawford bailing, strike one.
You take more chances with 1 out when the next guy is a left-handed batter facing a tough left-handed pitcher who could strike you out.
Sabathia struck out 3. Base hit. And the Red Sox have regained the lead. Carl Crawford is 2 for 2.
Carl Crawford, turning 30 years old yesterday, gives himself his 2nd birthday present this afternoon.
When you talk about birthdays, Crawford, the guy at first who has just untied it. The only player in Major League Baseball history with 100+ home runs, 100+ triples, 400+ steals before turning 30. He is now, and with 2 on, 1 out, ball 1 is way outside to Saltalamacchia. He was hitting .290 since the 1st of June. After hitting .218 over the first 35. The 1-0. And again, Sabathia, who has been, not going to say unhittable, but virtually unbeatable, is struggling again against the Red Sox.
The one thing I don't see out of Sabathia today is his changeup that he has used so effectively all year long. Seems like he's throwing a lot more fastballs.
A delayed strike call makes it 2-1. Runners on at first and second with one out, and Sabathia spins. Just to give you an idea of how just about unbeatable CC has been. Last 8 starts, he's 7-1 with an ERA of 1.01. Little pop up. Foul ball for Teixeira. 2 out, and holding at second is Aviles. Scudero will be the hitter, 2 on, 2 out. So Sabathia fell behind. Saltalamacchia got him on a foul out. Now Scudero, who dropped down a sacrifice bunt his first time, goes to the other end of the spectrum now and looks for a 2-out RBI hit. Marco is driven in 22. Hitting just 143 with runners in scoring position this season, takes a ball. Time called at the plate by Scudero.
That was a situation also that Cervelli, behind the plate, I think thought better of it, of the pitch that he called. That'll happen sometimes. Put the wrong sign down. Have to call timeout. Now he wants to talk to Sabathia.
Cervelli has got a lot of bounce behind home plate.
He does.
He hops on out there to talk to Sabathia with 2 on, 2 out. And a 2-0 count. Baseball greats are coming together for the Pepsi Max Field of Dreams, where you and your friends could win a chance to play ball with MLB legends. Visit Pepsi Max Field of Dreams online to enter today. Remember, if you build it, they will come. Count is 2-0. 2 on, 2 out. 2-1. Red Sox will get Jed Lowry back on Monday. Been on the DL since June 17th with the left shoulder strain, and the same injury for J.D. Drew, who has yet to swing a bat on the DL. Strike 2, 2-2. .32-minute 4th inning. Red Sox have regained the lead. Count is full and the runners will go. Line drive, base hit into center. And it's 4-2 Boston as Aviles scores on a 2-out hit by Scudero.
Highly uncharacteristic of CC Sabathia, throwing any right-handed batter 6 straight fastballs. 5 to get the count, 3-2. And then Scudero on the 3-2 pitch lines it back up the middle. But again, I'm very, very surprised that Sabathia has not used his changeup today to be a more effective pitcher.
And I know we've talked about it a lot. If you look at Sabathia during the month of July, he has allowed as many earned runs as he did the entire month of July when he was the AL pitcher of the month. But Sabathia is 16-2 against all other teams. Against the Red Sox 0-3 and on the short end here today. Now it's Ellsbury, who has a sac fly and a fly out to right. Ball one outside. The top run producing team in the major leagues has put up 4. And they lead by 2. Now Sabathia does not get the call. It's 2-0. Ellsbury with 67 RBIs down the right field line. This ball's got a chance. It's gone. And just like that, it's 7-2 Red Sox here in the 4th.
Sabathia falling behind Ellsbury, and Jacoby looking for a fastball down the pipe. He got it and hammers home run number 19 on the year. I think of all the surprising things about Ellsbury this year, his power is the one thing that surprised most people.
Both he and Pedroia hit 8 home runs during July. While Pedroia won Player of the Month for July, Ellsbury could have just as easily won it.
Yeah.
And for Jacoby, you start looking at the numbers, and it's, I mean, the power, you're right. This is out of nowhere as Hector Noesi. The right-hander gets loose as Sabathia is getting pounded again by Boston. One and two on Pedroia. Jacoby Ellsbury over the last 3 seasons. Last year was a lost year. The year before in 09 hit 8. In 08 he hit 9 home runs. That's a career high. Now he's got 19. Strikeout ends the inning, but it was a big inning for Boston. It started with a double by Youkilis. Base hit by Aviles. RBI hit Crawford. RBI hit Scudero. And then bang from Ellsbury. 7-2 after 4 at Fenway. John Lackey now has a commanding 7-2 lead, and here come the Yankees. On the first pitch, Cervelli with a base hit into left. He's now 2 for 2. Leadoff man is on, and now back to the top of the lineup with Gardner, Jeter, and Granderson. Brett Gardner is 0 for 2. Flied out to left. He is fouled out to third. Man, his average of 276. And that hit him on the foot.
Thing you have to ask yourself, was it in the process of bunting, or did he pull the bat back in time? I'm a little surprised Terry Francona isn't out there to argue this play. He wanted to bunt and almost runs into the ball as opposed to the other way around. But it did hit him while he was in the box. Odd play, huh?
Strange, and I'm with you. I'm surprised that they don't at least ask.
Yeah.
Maybe ask for an appeal to the third base umpire, Eric Cooper. See if he did pull the bat back. Looked like he did kind of curl it back as that ball.
Yeah, he took it back in time.
Clipped him on the foot or ankle. But now it's 2 on with nobody out for Jeter, who has struck out twice. After Jeter, it's the big bats for the Yankees, who are down by 5. A line drive base hit into center. Cervelli will come to the plate. It's a 4-run game on an RBI hit by Derek Jeter. And on literally 3 pitches, the Yankees have scored a run there within 4.
Yeah, that's right. Inside fastball or Cervelli for a hit. And then Brett Gardner hit on the first pitch. And now the first pitch to Jeter, base hit. RBI number 39 on the year for Derek. Hey, it's a Red Sox-Yankees game. Last night was just a teaser, that 3-2 game.
And right now, Lackey is at 89 pitches for the afternoon, and he's in trouble. As you look at the RBI men across baseball, you've got the top 3 in the AL, including Adrian Gonzalez, the Red Sox, Granderson, Teixeira of the Yankees. Number 2 is Ryan Howard of the Phillies, and here is Granderson, who has produced 86, taking a breaking ball for strike 1. And now Alfredo Aceves, former Yankee, gets loose for the Red Sox. That's foul, and that's strike 2. Granderson has singled and scored. He's stolen a base. He's flied to left. And he is another very good 2-strike hitter. 53 of his hits have been with 2 strikes, and Saltalamacchia turned into a backstop on ball 1.
Good play by Saltalamacchia.
The Yankees with a rally after a 5-run fourth by the Red Sox. Strikeout is a big out for John Lackey, who now has 3 on the day. 1 away.
John Lackey making Granderson go up the ladder. right. It was a very big strikeout.
Brings in Teixeira, who has hit 31 home runs. None against Boston this year. Runners on at first and second, 1 out, strike 1. Lackey is trying to get through 5 just to be eligible for his 10th win of the year. Just off the plate inside, 1-1. Strike 2. Yankees have the right guy up to inch a little closer, down by 4, 2 on, 1 out. And a 1-2 pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts for Lackey against Granderson and Teixeira.
That was a good job of mixing locations up. There were 4 pitches. That's a backdoor cutter. Then the fastball inside. Teixeira fouls one off. And he had some gas on that last fastball. Up and away to get Teixeira.
And now it's up to Cano. As the Yankees have scored 1 at 2 on, nobody out. But Lackey struck out Granderson, struck out Teixeira. And is dealing with Cano, who has hit 18 home runs. Good zip on strike number 1. So Lackey got through 2 of the top 3 run producers in the AL. But has a big hurdle left. And he's now 1 strike away from striking out the side after allowing the first 3 to reach. Gonzalez hitting over, and Lackey a nice job of getting out of further trouble. Halfway through it at Fenway, 7-3 Boston. confusion, co-glide, turns shaving into gliding, and skeptics into believers. Aerial coverage is brought to you by DirecTV. For the most sports in HD, call 1-800-DirecTV. It's time you made the switch as we switch into the bottom of the fifth. 7-3. Boston on top, and Sabathia has not been good here today. Adrian Gonzalez is 0 for 2. He's flied to left. He has grounded out. And now he is on with a base hit to start the fifth. And we'll go for a DirecTV game break. Here's Chris Rose.
Joe, the Cubbies have won 7 straight, taking on Cincinnati this afternoon. Big Z, Carlos Zambrano's 23rd career homer, moving him into a tie with the big train. Walter Johnson for 9th on the all-time list. Home runs as a pitcher. Reds lose the game and lose their all-star second baseman Brandon Phillips. He texted me he has just a sprained ankle he was hoping, but the Cubs win it 11-4. Remember to see every baseball game the most in HD. It's 1-800-DirecTV. And how about Big Z with 23 career homers, guys?
Wow, that's a surprising total. I would have taken the under on that. But he can hit. There's a strike into Euclid, who started that 5-run rally last inning with a leadoff double.
Took the Chicago Cubs 102 games this year to win 3 in a row. And now they've won 7 in a row.
Here's the 0-1. Double play ball to Jeter. Cano, who makes it look easy. 6-4-3. I don't think there's anybody more nonchalant at turning a double play as a second baseman than Cano.
He can be that way because he's got such a powerful arm. Makes a lot of those plays almost flat-footed. It's been said about Cano that he has a shortstop's arm, and he proved it once again.
Brings in Ortiz. Robinson Cano, who made 3 errors all of last year, has made 8 this season. But he turned it well. 6-4-3 as Ortiz went around. Strike one. David struck out his last time up. Cover of the paper here in Boston today had a what if Ortiz as a free agent went to the Yankees, and Sabathia, who can opt out of his deal at the end of this year, came to Boston. What do you think, Ken Rosenthal?
Anything is possible, Joe, but the Yankees, given their position, are going to need to re-sign Sabathia. Not at any cost, but certainly it'll be a priority for them.
Down and away, 1-2. Are you surprised, Kenny, that they didn't come up with anything at the deadline?
I was, but at the same time, they viewed Ubaldo Jimenez, the top pitcher out there, as no better than a number 3 or 4. They think Colon is better than that. They think maybe Nova is better than that. And they didn't feel like trading their top guys for someone that they thought would be that way in the AL East particularly.
Strike 3 is called, and that's strikeout number 5 for Sabathia. That is inning number 5 in the books. Red Sox lead at 7-3. by Chevrolet. Proud to support youth baseball across the country. And by Burger King, the all-new BK Burger and Chicken Minis. We go into the 6th inning. John Lackey is back to the hill. Did a nice job last inning to limit the damage, allowing only one. Getting through the heart of the lineup for New York. As he got Granderson to Sharon, Cano, now it's Swisher. Strike one. One ball, one strike.
Big pitch in this game was the double play ball that Lackey threw to Nick Swisher with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Then he gave up the 2-out RBI hit. Tie the game at 2. His teammates went to work. 5 runs in the 4th. Yankees got one back in the 5th. We're now in the 6th. A rocket base hit into center off the bat of Nick Swisher. Well, the NFL is back. Fox's coverage begins with a preseason special as the Buccaneers head to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Coverage begins on Friday, August 12th at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific in high def. Only on Fox.
CBA was signed to the delight of many, many football fans throughout the country.
And many, many football players.
Oh, yeah.
And owners.
Yeah.
Throughout the country. Television execs, ad execs. Here is a grounder foul outside first. You name it, I don't think there was anybody upset.
No.
That they finally got it figured out. Strike one on Chavez, a leadoff hit by Swisher. And there is action for Boston out in their bullpen again. One and one. Chavez again. Warming up last inning. The second he got up. Lackey got tough. Barely missed. 2-1. And that makes it 2-2. Back to first is Swisher. He was led off this 6th inning with a base hit into right center. Reaching for it. What a play by Euclid. 1 out. Chavez reached and then Euclid had to reach.
Kevin preventing that ball from squirting out into the outfield. The dive and the catch. Good play.
Lackey appreciates it, and the batter will be Posada. Jorge 0 for 2. Fouled out to third. He is flied out to left. So he has yet to pull John Lackey in this game. Strike one.
I think the Yankees, we talked about this about a month ago, Joe, during the Yankee telecast in early July. I think the Yankees have learned a lesson. And that lesson is you really have to think twice to allow a former catcher who has caught as much as Jorge Posada has to be a DH in his advancing age. The reason for that is the pounding the hands take throughout your career, and that's asking an awful lot. It takes a very, very strong person. And Jorge is a very strong person, but the hands have been beaten up and chewed up over the years. 16 years with the Yankees, and trying to make a DH out of an older catcher is a very, very difficult job.
Posada in the hole now, 1-2. And that's not even bringing up how different it is for somebody who's so involved.
Right.
To then try to get a routine together to be a DH and stay mentally ready for his at-bats. As he strikes out looking 2 out.
Strikeout number 5 as Lackey comes inside on the corner to get Posada.
And now Cervelli, who is 2 for 2. Pair of singles, scored a run last inning. Led off with a hit, scored on an RBI base hit to center by Jeter. This will likely be it for Lackey. Pretty good pitch, called ball 1. So over 110 pitches on the day, trying to get the number 9 man and then turn it over to that good Boston bullpen here at Fenway. That should do it. Broken bat. Pedroia ends the inning. 115 pitch day for Lackey. Sends this game into the bottom of the 6th inning with the Red Sox up 7-3. First pitch swinging is Aviles, and he grounds out. Good pick by Teixeira on the low throw by Cano. And here are the congratulations for John Lackey, who after a 115 pitch day, he is finished after getting 6 innings under his belt. I think all things considered, Tim, he should be pleased with his outing here this afternoon.
I would think so. Pitching out of trouble, and again that big pitch to get Nick Swisher with the bases loaded and nobody out, the biggest pitch so far in this game.
And Carl Crawford's been right in the middle of the action offensively for Boston. With a double, a run scored, an RBI single, and a run scored. He is 2 for 2. And that's in the dirt, a ball and a strike. Sabathia so far has allowed 7 runs on 8 hits. Struck out 5. He has walked only 1. Allowed that 3-run home run by Ellsbury in the 4th.
How about that graphic? In his prior 62 2/3 innings, he had allowed 7 earned runs, and today 7 earned runs in 5 1/3. Wow. Eye-popping.
And that got a lot of Cervelli. Count is 2-2. It was a courtesy. The home plate umpire dusts off home plate. Takes a little time to let the pain subside as this one caught Cervelli in the right wrist. Here is a 2-2. How about Crawford? He is 3 for 3 against the tough left-hander Sabathia, and on with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Red Sox have to be thinking, boy, wouldn't it be nice if Carl Crawford could just erase a 4-month period of this year and have a hot 2 months in August, September going into the playoffs.
That's why it's really impressive that the Red Sox are #1 in run production with over 600 runs scored so far this year without getting a lot of production out of their corner outfield spots.
Right. First time this year that Carl Crawford has had 3 hits in a game off a left-handed pitcher.
Fastball is in for a strike to Saltalamacchia. Jared has walked, scored, fouled out. And Ayala, the right-hander, gets loose for New York. And that's wide, 1-1. And one of the beer vendors lost his entire inventory over the short wall right in front of the Fox Sports banner. And now the Bat Boys and members of the coaching staff and security people are throwing.
Grab some butts. Now you've got to allow the beer to settle down.
Yeah, well, I think that whole group is finished for the rest of the day, and there's the most embarrassed man in Fenway. He's also out of ice. The count is 1-1 on Saltalamacchia, now outside 2-1. Let's go down to Ken Rosenthal. Ken.
Joe, I was a vendor in my younger days, Nassau Coliseum and Shea Stadium, and that's not a good feeling because you've got to pay for those.
Oh, really?
At least back in the day.
First of all, I didn't know you were a vendor. What was your what were you peddling?
Well, I was too young for beer, but mostly soda, some ice cream. I wasn't a very good vendor.
You
Joe.
still look too young for beer.
I'm plenty of age now.
Okay.
I was a vendor myself, 1954 and 5 in Russwood Park in Memphis. Made a ½ a bag per bag of popcorn or peanuts.
Here is a strikeout of Saltalamacchia, number 6 on the day for Sabathia. And 2 out here in the 6th.
On my way to riches. ½ a bag.
Wow. Did you ever have a spill? Now I can never say that I was a vendor. I was a bat boy. When you grow up as a beneficiary of nepotism around a ballpark, you don't have to vent. Just sat by my dad and stared at him. Strike 1 to the number 9 man, Scudero.
First time I had ever heard about how cool a guy was from your dad, that famous line from Jack Buck that whoever he was talking about was as cool as the other side of a pillow.
That's right.
Oh,
it's been used many times since. I don't know if it was used before. Red Sox lead 1. They've stranded only 2. They lead by 4 as we go into the 7th. Back after this from your local Fox station.
I just wish someone open. I would help drink off the field if they.
You didn't put it in your pocket to take to the locker room later, did you?
Maybe one, but.
This game at Fenway Park gets into the 7th inning, and Alfredo Aceves, who has done a little bit of everything for the Red Sox this year. They signed him right before spring training. He was let go by the Yankees, the team he faces now in December, and look at those numbers.
Similar to that year he had for the New York Yankees.
Had a bad back last year, and the Yankees in essence gave up on a guy they could really use now with as much unrest as they've had in their rotation and consequently in their bullpen. It'll be Gardner, Jeter, and Granderson in what is a 7-3 game with Boston on top. We play in the 7th. Gardner hitless. He has been hit by a pitch. Aceves, who has a very good fastball, gets it up there in the mid-90s at times. Throws a 92-mile-an-hour strike 1. Strike 2. Gardner is flying to left, fouled out to third. Big part of why the Yankees have won 36 of their last 51 games. Still 0-2.
I think I've told this story, but I was talking to Charlie Manuel in spring training. Charlie, of course, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies. And he said, who do you like in the American League East? I said, well, everybody seems to be picking Boston, and I think that would be my pick too. He said, you know what makes the Yankees as good as Boston? Brett Gardner. Charlie Manuel loves Brett Gardner.
And the count's still 0-2.
He is so much fun to talk to about other teams, his take on other teams, his take on other players.
He's got to be smiling now after the acquisition of Hunter Pence, which has changed that lineup considerably. A right-handed presence in the middle of all that left-handed pop. Another 0-2. Ball one. If you haven't looked in a while, the Phillies are running away with the NL East. They've won 9 in a row, and they're 9 games up on Atlanta.
Atlanta leading in the wild card in the National League. They're 17 over, and they're 9 behind the Phillies.
And there is a 1-2. Up the middle. What a pick, but no throw as Gardner's on with an infield hit. Let's go for a DirecTV game break. Here's Chris.
Joe, here's how the Phillies won their 9th straight. One name, Cole Hamels. There's 2 words. He got it done today. Strikes out Beltran, Rowan, and then Orlando Cabrera. Gave up a solo shot in the 9th to Kung Fu Panda with 2 down. That prevented the shutout, but the Phillies have won 9 in a row, 2-1, your final. Joe?
Thank you very much, and you don't have to back off that. That's right. That's one name.
Yes, you know, I'm not the English major.
2 words.
Right. Right.
Here is Jeter. Leadoff man is on for the 4th straight inning for the Yankees. Ball one outside. And how about the line for the 2 starters in that game? That's why that thing's already over. Hamels going all 9. Matt Cain going 8. A strike into Jeter in the count 1-1.
And the aforementioned Hunter Pence drove in both runs in that 2-1 Philly win today.
Here in Boston, the Red Sox want Aceves to pitch through this 7th, and then they will hand what they have to Bard and Papelbon. As good a 1-2 punch as any bullpen can boast around Major League Baseball. Here is a 1-1. Ball 2. If you're the Yankees, you need to get something done here in the 7th. Check on the runner at first, even though Gardner's been doing a lot of running. He stole 4, was caught 4 times early. 29 now out of 35 since. His team is down by 4. We would like to welcome those of you who have been watching the Phillies and the Giants. Good game, great pitching. A win for Philadelphia as they've won 9 straight and they lead in their division by 9. Breaking ball to Jeter is a strike to make it 2-2. If you're just joining us, here is our game summary. Kobe Ellsbury has another home run. By far his career high 19th. 7 earned runs allowed by Sabathia in this game, and then prominent vendors will explain that in a moment. Jeter grounds to Gonzalez. Out at second, safe at first. We learned moments ago that both Ken Rosenthal and Tim McCarver, albeit in different decades, were at one time vendors in stadiums in their lives, and we found that out because this poor guy dumped a whole tub of beer and ice onto the field during the last half inning. As Granderson steps in, 1 on 1 out. And hammers one foul. Home plate umpire today is Mark Carlson. Nice enough to wear a microphone for us, and he had some thoughts on what transpired with that poor vendor in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2. And we'll give that to you after Granderson does something here with Mark Teixeira on deck. The Phillies have won 9 straight, running away with their division. The Cubs have won 7 straight, but are still 14.5 games out behind Milwaukee in the NL Central. Still 0-2. Granderson is number 3 in the AL with 28 home runs. Number 2 with 86 RBIs, trailing Gonzalez of the Red Sox, who has 91. Weird swing as Seves gets one. They got them both. 1-6-3 with Scudero in the middle. It's time to stretch, and then we'll hear from Mark Carlson, the umpire, in the bottom half. Red Sox back up by 4. By DirecTV now, NFL Sunday Ticket is included when you switch to DirecTV. And by New Line Cinema's Final Destination 5 in theaters August 12th. They show Johnny Pesky on the video board here at Fenway Park in a nice ovation for the longtime Boston Red Sox player and then instructor as Louis Ayala takes over for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 7th. It will be Ellsbury, then Pedroia, then Adrian Gonzalez. Strike one on Jacoby, who has 4 RBIs in this game and 70. Predominantly out of the leadoff spot this season for Boston. Here's the 0-1. Strike 2. Jacoby Ellsbury, who had 20 home runs total in 349 games coming into this season, is now 1 away from matching that. He's got 19. Line drive caught by Teixeira, 1 out. Here was home plate Mark Carlson talking to one of the helpers here at Fenway Park after that spill over by the on-deck circle.
Usually it's a beach ball or something. I'm looking around, I'm like, but then I saw Bogey going over, and the manager coming out, and I'm like, is there, the third base coach and Girardi going to fight?
Instead, it's a case of beer on the field.
I've been here a long, like almost 20 years. I've never seen that before.
That's what I said. I've never seen that happen before. Poor guy. I hope he doesn't have to pay for the whole case himself.
That may be the most important part of it all, as Ken Rosenthal pointed out. He had to pay for stuff that he dropped back in 1979, and maybe that guy has to here in 2011. Here's the 0-1.
Well, we hope not.
I think at the very least, we at Fox, if that guy's charged for that tub of beer, should buy the tub of beer from that guy.
I agree with that.
We've already had enough fun. It's been one of the highlights of our broadcast today. We've shown the poor guy. His name is Michael. And here's Ayala making the play to get Pedroia 2 out.
I'll put it on my expense report.
Yeah. You have an expense report?
Not really.
Tim's at it again. Entertainment. What would you put it down under?
Case of beer.
Case of beer. On a Saturday in Boston. The 2 out, nobody on. The batter is Adrian Gonzalez. Good fastball for strike 1. I think you and I should buy it from the guy.
Nice gesture. You can include me.
I don't know if we have enough cash between us to buy an entire tub of beer at a Major League Baseball game, but we'll get money from Horn. Steve Horn's got more money than either one of us. Dave Schwalbe in the back. About $8 a beer, so about $160, something like that.
Right.
Provided it was full. Here's the 0-2. Down and away. Our sponsor's Budweiser, but I don't think that was a tub of Budweiser. Budweiser's red.
Yes.
Those beers were green. The count 2-2. Gonzalez has singled, flied out, grounded out. And Ayala is trying to pitch a 1-2-3 7th. .77-mile-per-hour pitch misses. Ball 2. 2-2. Red Sox trying to set up the rubber game of this series tomorrow night. Now a full count. And a matchup of Beckett coming off a no decision Tuesday against Cleveland. Rain delayed in that game. He went only 6 because of it. 2 runs, 7 strikeouts against Freddie Garcia, who is 0-2 this year against Boston. ERA over 10. Still a full count. Chevrolet proudly supports the great game of baseball at all levels. You can see how they're making kids' baseball dreams come true across the USA at ChevyBaseball.com. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And a 3-2. A 2-out walk.
As always happens when these two teams get together, many prominent writers show up, and today no exception. I had the pleasure of meeting Gay Talese for the first time. He's doing an article on Joe Girardi for the New Yorker, and I believe it was Gay Talese writing for Esquire back in 1953 when Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe were married, and Marilyn Monroe went to Korea, and she had a huge ovation for her. And she came back and told Joe, you've never heard cheering like that. And he said, yes, I have.
Here is a strike into Kevin Youkilis.
Joe DiMaggio, the great DiMaggio, heard cheering like that for years at old Yankee Stadium.
Here is the 0-1. That is strike 2. Moments ago here at Fenway Park, a nice moment. Moment. As the ball girl catches the ball, older sister catches it and gives it to her younger brother. Nice.
Yeah.
Or her fiance, I don't know. We're just assuming. And Youkilis ends up down on the ground after a foul tip. Caught him in the leg of the foot.
It's like the left ankle. And Uke will probably be wearing that half shin guard for tomorrow night's game.
I can say this, if the roles were reversed at Busch Stadium as a kid, I just can't see an older Joe Buck giving the foul ball souvenir to his younger sister, Julie Buck.
No. You'd keep it.
I'd keep.
Yeah.
That's inside, ball 1. There they are. And they will always have that moment. Maybe she's taking it back. The 1-2. That is fouled right side, and it is out of the reach of Mark Teixeira. Talked about coming into this game the struggles of Sabathia against Boston this year. He went 6. Allowed 7 runs on 8 hits, and his numbers against the Red Sox compared to the rest of the world, night and day. Staring at an 0-4 record against Boston here in 2011. That is smothered by Cervelli. The count 2-2. Still just a 4-run game, and the Yankees in the 8th will have Teixeira, Cano, and Swisher. Almost caught him on the leg, and that will run it full 3-2. There is Daniel Bard getting ready for the 8th. Inside, back-to-back walks. This week, MLBFanCave.com, 2 new videos debuted as part of the ongoing Fan Cave web series. Ryan Howard intimidates Mike O'Hara, the fan who was watching every game this season at the Fan Cave, when O'Hara makes fun of high school band geeks before realizing Howard played in his high school marching band. And Ryan Spilborghs of Colorado conducts offbeat interviews. This is part of his ongoing series, Spill the Beans. That's all at MLBFanCave.com. Ortiz takes a strike. 2 on, 2 out.
Regardless of what happens, David Ortiz delighted to see CC Sabathia out of the game. Had some tough at bats, grounding too short, striking out a couple of times. But he has a right-hander who drops down now, so he can see the ball a little better.
Second time, Noesi is getting loose, with Reddick on deck. And the strike is in there from Ayala. It's 0-2. Big Poppy is 0 for 3. Rounded out. He has struck out twice. Man, he got a rip. Still 0-2.
Yeah, best cut he's had all day. As you can see, Cervelli wanted that pitch up. Wasn't up quite high enough.
Matt gets away and the runners advance to second and third. Wild pitch by Ayala. Gonzalez to third, Euclid to second. Both guys have drawn walks in the inning.
Cervelli has taken quite a beating behind home plate today. Balls have crawled up his arms and bitten him.
Here is a 1-2. In the air to right. Will it carry? Not enough. The inning is over. Red Sox leave 2. Bard will take over as we go to the 8th inning. Yankees back down by 4. Baseball on Fox, presented by Gillette Fusion Pro Glide. Aerial coverage is provided by DirecTV on this relatively cool day at Fenway Park. NFL Sunday Ticket is included at no extra charge when you switch to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Josh Reddick is in the game in right for Aviles. And Daniel Bard, don't let that record fool you. He has got eye-popping stuff. First up is Teixeira, and he leans back from a 97-mile-per-hour fastball, ball one.
Yeah, that 1-5 record does not fool the scouts that follow the Red Sox on a daily or weekly basis.
And as Terry Francona, his manager, told us before the game, outside of Papelbon, every important inning, we have Bard pitch. That's what this is, up by 4 in the 8th inning against the Yankees, currently in first place in the AL East. That is drilled in the air to right and out of here. Home run to Teixeira to make it a 3-run game here in the 8th.
Well, we've said this before, Joe. It's easier to hit in a game in which you trail by 3, 4, or 5 runs in the 8th inning because most of your pitches are predictable. 2-0, Mark Teixeira waiting for the fastball. He got it and turned on it for home run number 32 on the year. Hit a long way to right field.
And that is the 4th career home run against Bard for Teixeira in just 14 at-bats. And his first this year against Boston. Only Teixeira's 5th hit against Red Sox pitching. And this game is not over. The 1-0 to Cano. He's into center for Ellsbury. 1 out. We go back to Mark Teixeira. And look at where he ranks, doing what he's doing with the long ball. His first 3 seasons with the Yankees. Ruth did it, 20 through 24. Roger Maris, A-Rod, Teixeira, 30-plus home runs in each of their first 3 seasons in a Yankee uniform. And then he has now hit 32 this year. 1 out, a run home, 3-run lead for the Red Sox. Here is Swisher. Strike 1. 100 from Daniel Bard. Swisher in this game has walked, bounced into a double play, and singled. Bard recently during the week had a streak of 26 1/3 scoreless innings pitched as that one hits 101 on strike 2 to Swisher. He's given up a leadoff home run to Teixeira, but came back to get Cano, and he has thrown 2 sizzlers into Swisher. 0-2. And then something other than the fastball for out number 2. Breaking ball from Daniel Bard gets Swisher 2 out. We go back to the 5th inning for our Burger King many moments. And it was the job done by John Lackey as he got Granderson, then Teixeira. That was with 2 on, 1 run home, nobody out back-to-back strikeouts of two of the top run producers in the AL. Granderson and Teixeira, a big reason why Lackey is in line for his 10th win of the year. Strike one on Chavez. And now a rocket into left center field. Off the green monster for a long, loud single.
Trailed by 3 in the 8th inning. You can't take the chance, and Chavez didn't.
By the way, that mini moment provided by Lackey, brought to you by Burger King and the all-new BK Burger and Chicken Minis. Here is Jorge Posada, as the Yankees are one base runner away from bringing up the tying run. Got Bard now and a red-hot Papelbon ready to go in the 9th. Posada hitless in this game. Fouled out, flied out, struck out, takes a ball.
Some pitchers who throw that hard, 100 to 101 miles an hour, they have nothing that they can go to. They can't go to a breaking ball. Well, Bard can. He can go to a change, he can go to the breaking ball, or he can throw a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
He's got such a good delivery. It's so fluid.
Yeah.
It's a big guy, and he's got a long reach. And he's 1-1 on Posada. Just inside, ball 2. On deck is Cervelli. Joe Girardi has just a 3-man bench. .99 for strike 2. 2-2. Breaking ball misses, and now a full count. And Adrian Gonzalez will play behind the runner at first. Chavez will take off. And hitting it to Gonzalez, who had just backed up to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, a run home on a home run by Teixeira. Red Sox bat up by 3. Game moves into the bottom of the 8th inning. Red Sox bat what they hope will be the final time today. Up by 3, and they will do so against Hector Noesi. Third pitcher of the day. Ayala 1 inning, 2 walks, and a wild pitch. Damage done as Reddick bats against Sabathia. Strike 1 on Reddick, who is hitting .343. He is taken over in right with the injury to J.D. Drew.
Josh Reddick, only 24 years old. He was up for parts of 2009, 2010. I talked to Dave Madigan, the hitting instructor for the Red Sox yesterday. Mags said this about Reddick.
He checked his swing on ball 1.
That after being sent out the last couple of years, he came up a more determined young hitter this year and is playing like he is refusing to be sent back out, and he's hitting like it.
Over but low, 2-2. The guy that Reddick replaces is Mike Aviles, who started in right, had not played the outfield ever in professional ball. As Reddick fouls it out of play off to the left. And Aviles, who was in his first few days with the Red Sox, told his new manager Terry Francona when he asked him, can you play the outfield, he said, you need to know one thing about me, Terry. I am arrogant and I am confident. As a breaking ball misses up to Reddick, it's a full count. And Aviles got through the game fine. Was 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored while he was in there. Still full. Reddick has hit 5 home runs, driven in 22. Taking advantage of an opportunity because of the shoulder injury suffered by J.D. Drew. And another foul. Reddick, then Crawford, who's had a big game. And then Saltalamacchia. That is hook foul.
Got a good looking swing, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He is a good looking young player. Can throw well, runs well, hits for power, hits for average. Not much left.
You were saying that as the music was building for Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It was very dramatic.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was involved like that until I got in the middle of it.
A leadoff walk as Reddick is able to check his swing. And now your Just for Men Keep Your Edge spotlight. Big swing by Ellsbury. 3-run shot with 2 out back in the 4th made it 7-2. Just as Jacoby gives the Red Sox the edge, you too can keep your edge with Just for Men mustache and beard. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Carl Crawford. He's 3 for 3 with a pair of singles, a double, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. Good rip. Strike 2. Saltalamacchia next, barring a double play. Scudero. There is the closer. 19 for his last 19. Jonathan Papelbon. Here is an 0-2. Instead, a check on Reddick. It's still just a 3-run game, although it doesn't have that feel. Feels like it's more lopsided with the Red Sox At one point leading 7-2, it's now 7-4. Foul ball. You will be in the Bronx next Saturday.
I will. Tampa Bay and the Yankees.
Right now, the Tampa Bay Rays are 10 out. Still 0-2. And it's hard to explain as we welcome you inside our broadcast booth why Sabathia has not pitched better this year against the Red Sox.
16-2 against his other opponents and 0-4 unless the Yankees can mount at least a 3-run rally in the top of the 9th inning. I think today it was pretty apparent that he was not using his changeup to his advantage and going too much with hard stuff. He looked like the Sabathia today.
About a 4-hit day for Carl Crawford.
The Sabathia today that was pitching like the Sabathia of 8 or 9 years ago when he broke in with Cleveland, throwing a lot of hard stuff. But a great day for Carl Crawford. 4th 4-hit game this season.
And he sends Reddick over to third. It's 1st and 3rd, nobody out, with Saltalamacchia coming up. And as both these clubs are in long stretches of games, they always have in the back of their minds trying to take some pressure off the bullpen when they can. It's like Joe Girardi is going to let this 8th inning belong to Nwesi, with an eye maybe toward tomorrow night. Infield is in. Ball 1 up and away to Saltalamacchia. The Yankees will leave here, have an off day on Monday, and then go home for the Angels. And that weekend series against Tampa Bay. Then 2 Kansas City and 2 Minnesota before 3 at home with Oakland. Here are the matchups other than the Yankees and Rays. Pirates and Brewers. Brewers are a good club. They're the Rangers and the A's. Rangers are only up a game on the Angels in the AL West. Crawford is stealing. Throw by Cervelli. No chance. Stolen base number 13 for Carl Crawford.
Derek Jeter knew there was no chance, so he stood about 2 feet in front of the bag to make sure the runner from third didn't take advantage of perhaps a short overthrow in the center field. You talked about how energetic Cervelli was earlier in the game. He is all of that, very animated in his conversations with most pitchers.
Looked like a speech from Braveheart. It counts 2-0 on Saltalamacchia. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Here it comes. Swinging strike. It's 2-1. The Yankees in the 9th will have the number 9 man. Cervelli, or a pinch hitter. Then Gardner, Jeter. It's going to take a lot against one of the game's best, maybe the game's hottest closer, Jonathan Papelbon. Saltalamacchia could blow it wide open. The 2-1. 2-2. over 500 today for Terry Francona's club. With runners in scoring position, the big hit was a 3-run home run in that situation by Ellsbury in the 4th. Here is a 2-2. Well played by Cervelli.
Boy, that's a good play right there.
The count's full.
I think if you're a baseball fan, you know what a gopher ball is. From a catcher's standpoint, that's a gopher ball. That ball was under the plate. Good play by Cervelli.
And the count is 3-2. The number 9 man, Scudero, next. And no action for the Yankees in their bullpen. Down by 3. We'll get out of play to keep it full. It's turned into a good first year in a Red Sox uniform. First full year for Saltalamacchia. Picked up last year. At one point was part of a big deal in 2007 that involved Mark Teixeira going from Texas to Atlanta. Elvis Andrews was in that deal. Naftali Feliz.
Matt Harrison.
Here's a 3-2. That'll load him up. Still no action in the pen. Bases loaded, nobody out for Marco Scudero. Again, it's worth repeating that Phil Hughes is coming off a good 6-inning rain-shortened start at the White Sox. Will be available and in the pen tomorrow night for the Yankees. Here's a pop-up. Cano, the infield fly rule in effect, 1 out. Tim, you remember how big of a part of the bullpen Phil Hughes was back in 2009.
Sure.
When the Yankees won it all, Phil Hughes was one of the main setup men for Mariano Rivera. And the Yankees won their 27th World Championship.
And it was not an easy transition for Phil, going from a short reliever or a setup man to a starter, and went through a period of a dead arm syndrome earlier in the year. And that applause, obviously, for Jacoby Ellsbury, who's had yet another good game.
4 RBI day. He's got 1 hit, 1 for 3, plus a sac fly. Infield is in. Ellsbury just stinging the ball these days, takes 1 low.
He has 70 RBIs as a leadoff guy, and it's early August.
And this Red Sox lineup that is number 1 in run production, and averaging about 5.5 runs per game. That is a base hit into center. Reddick scores. Right behind him is Crawford, and 6 RBIs for Ellsbury on the afternoon.
Yeah, make that 72 RBIs for Jacoby Ellsbury.
And there is no leadoff hitter doing what Ellsbury is doing for the Red Sox anywhere else in baseball.
Nope.
How about during the week against the Indians? They had enough. Ellsbury with a game-winning base hit to score Saltalamacchia. But he went one better with the walk-off home run to straightaway center off the Indians' Joe Smith to give the Red Sox a 4-3 win on Wednesday. He never had a walk-off hit in the major leagues before Tuesday night, and he had 2 this week.
2 in a row, Tuesday and Wednesday.
Now Pedroia first and third, 1 out. If you don't have fun watching this Boston Red Sox lineup swing the bat, then I don't think you like baseball.
No. They can pound.
Now Dan Wheeler is taking the spot of Papelbon in the bullpen as the lead has grown to 5 and they have a chance for more. And this is usually a lineup filled with one dirty uniform after another by the end of the day.
That's true.
We show up nice and white the next day, but whether it's Pedroia, Euclid, Saltalamacchia, Carl Crawford running the bases. They throw him into the hampers dirty at the end of games.
Those uniforms are Fenway pressed.
And the count 2-1 on Pedroia. RBI double in this game, and now one shot into center. Deep enough to score Saltalamacchia and make it 10-4 here in the 8th. 8 RBIs out of the top 2 spots in this lineup for Boston. If the Red Sox hang on and with the kind of firepower they still have left in their bullpen, they should. The Red Sox will end the Yankees' 8-game winning streak. And after 112 games in 2011, the Yankees and Red Sox will be tied on top of the division in the AL East at 69 and 43.
Tied with 50 games left.
And a lot's been written about it during the week. While one will win the AL East, the other one figures to easily win the wild card in the AL. Oh, that hit Noesi. He looks to be okay in the out at first.
That was scary.
Off the bat of Adrian Gonzalez.
Hector appears to be all right, but that was frightening. The line drive. He appears to be okay.
Off the midsection, the right side, right rib cage for Noesi. He gives up 3. inning now. Tonight on Fox, you've got Cops, followed by Cops, followed by Family Guy at 9 Eastern, and The Cleveland Show. All starts at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here as Dan Wheeler takes over. Red Sox do not have to use Papelbon unless Wheeler gets into trouble. Cervelli, who is 2 out of 3, will lead it off. Yankees have never led in this game. They have been absolutely red hot. They came in having won 11 of 13, doing it with one surprise after the other in their rotation, getting production without A-Rod. But today was Lackey and a lot of Ellsbury and Pedroia for Boston. Carl Crawford with a 4-hit day as well, as Cervelli has 3 hits, including a leadoff stand-up double here in the 9th.
Red Sox have added 2 very important pieces to their bullpen. Matt Albers, who toiled in Baltimore for several years, a right-handed pitcher, and Dan Wheeler. Dan was with the Tampa Bay Rays for 4 years. They're very important guys that you can insert when you're not using either Bard or Papelbon.
Here is Gardner, who has a hit, been hit by a pitch, 1 for 3 on the day. In the dirt from Wheeler, and here's what Jacoby Ellsbury has done today. The first Boston Red Sox leadoff hitter since Ellis Burks against Baltimore in '87 to drive in 6 in a game. Sac fly, 3-run home run, and a 2-run single. One ball, 1 strike on Gardner. Good pitch. Strike 2.
Good breaking ball from Dan Wheeler. This is one of those knee buckling curveballs. Came from nowhere.
Yankees came into this game with an ERA amongst their starting pitching of 3.32 since the 1st of July. Number 2 in the American League to the Angels. And they had Sabathia going. There is strike 3 on a fastball inside corner, 1 away.
It's not the pitch, it's how you got there. And getting there with that good curveball followed up with a fastball on the corner. Morning, good afternoon, good night to Gardner.
And now good morning to Derek Jeter, who has a hit, 3,029 in his career. He is 1 for 4. Just to finish the point about the starting pitching for the Yankees, they had Sabathia going today, who was 13-2 over his last 15 starts, an ERA of 2.08. But he did not have his good stuff this afternoon as Jeter flies to right. Reddick makes the catch, 2 out. And we go for a DirecTV game break. Here is Chris Rose.
Joe, the first place Brewers back at it again thanks to the All-Star Game MVP. Prince Fielder, a 3-run crank, is 25th. The Brewers lead the Cardinals by 3 in the Central. By the way, St. Louis has a 2-run shot by Albert Pujols, his 26th of the year. They're leading the Marlins. Back on upstairs to Joe and Tim.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. The Yankees are down to their final out. The batter is Granderson, runner at second, 2 out. Curtis is 1 for 4. Red Sox lead by 6 here in the 9th. The Yankees do not expect Sabathia to win every time out. But they want him to prove that he can beat the Red Sox. He is about to go to 0-4 against Boston this year. Meanwhile, the Red Sox will go to 9-2 against the Yankees here in 2011. One strike left for Granderson. And at the moment, the Yankees. Garcia and Beckett tomorrow night. Ball one upstairs, 1-2. Two and two. Still 2-2. Red Sox last night fell out of first place for the first time since June 6th. They are an out away from a first place tie with the Yankees. Just missed. And it's a full count. It's hit June 6th, July 6th for the Red Sox. They were very close to ending today and being in a tie with that last pitch. Runner at second, 2 out. That will bring in Teixeira, who homered his last time up.
And I would imagine Jonathan Papelbon is squirming in the Boston bullpen. And if Mark Teixeira gets on, Pap may be in the ball game.
He was warming up while the Red Sox were batting, but they came up with 3 in the 8th to lead by 6. So he is stretching, squirming, not throwing. Teixeira now is 1 home run off the AL and Major League lead as he went deep back in the 8th. Number 32 on the year, Batista with 33. He can only make it a 3-run game. Ball one. Leadoff double by Cervelli. Gardner struck out, Jeter flied out. A walk to Granderson and a 1-0. One and one. Two and one. Red Sox faithful here at Fenway will spill out of this park onto the streets Some will stay in the area, some will head elsewhere, but they will be anticipating the rubber game of the series tomorrow night after the Yankees won last night 3-2. 2-2. Now a full count with Cano on deck. And still no Papelbon in the bullpen for the Red Sox. That is hammered down the line. Foul. Can't hit it any harder. Didn't need to hit it any farther. But Teixeira pulled it just foul. Teixeira's got to be thrilled with the adjustments he's made with Kevin Long and the way he's been swinging the bat since the third week of July. In the upper 300s with his average production. He has a home run today. Runners go. And that is a foul ball. Saltalamacchia couldn't get to it. If it ever was in fair territory out in front of the plate.
I'll tell you, that was very, very close. The plate is in fair territory. The lines go along the outside lines of home plate, but that was a very, very close play. A little tricky hop right here. Saltalamacchia out. Of course, Saltalamacchia is 6'4". I'll tell you, that was a very close play. Close to being fair.
That should do it. Into center for the star of the day, Ellsbury. 10-4 over and out. Red Sox win it. And they've split the first two games of this series here at Fenway. Joe Girardi's club in a 3-hour, 25-minute game comes up short. We will give you a look at the updated standings in the AL East. Back tied at 69 and 43 after 112 games during the 2011 season. We'll come back and wrap it up after this from your local Fox station as the Red Sox win it 10-4 over the Yankees here at Fenway.